The tension surrounding Keir Starmer's leadership is reaching a fever pitch, and the cracks are becoming impossible to ignore. Promises of integrity and a fresh start for Labour have given way to mounting controversies, questionable decisions, and a growing sense of betrayal among the British public. What started as hope for change has turned into growing disillusionment, fueled by revelations that are shaking Starmer's carefully constructed image to its core. The surge of illegal migration under his leadership is a glaring example of promises broken. Over 20,000 illegal migrants have entered the UK since he took office, a figure that has left many questioning his ability, or willingness, to address border control. Critics have accused Starmer of pandering to progressive ideals while ignoring the glaring reality of an overwhelmed system. His rhetoric about bringing down immigration now rings hollow, as the situation spirals further out of control. Meanwhile, British citizens watch in frustration as their concerns are dismissed or overshadowed by political spin. The reality is simple. Starmer's policies have failed to stem the tide, and the consequences are becoming painfully evident. And then there's Isabel Oakeshott. Renowned for her relentless pursuit of political scandals, Oakeshott has turned her gaze on Starmer, and the fallout is already brewing. Her hints about hidden truths and skeletons in Starmer's closet have sent Westminster into a tailspin. But what exactly is she building up to? Oakeshott's reputation precedes her, and her targets rarely emerge unscathed. Her whispers suggest a scandal that could shake Labour's foundations, and the public is left waiting, wondering what bombshell will drop next. One of the more immediate controversies involves Starmer's relationship with Lord Ali, an openly gay Muslim peer whose access to Downing Street has raised eyebrows. Questions about influence and favouritism are swirling, with some wondering whether personal connections are taking precedence over professional merit. It's a narrative of privilege and access that cuts against the Labour leader's claims of transparency and fairness. Are we witnessing another case of rules for thee but not for me? It's a question that is beginning to resonate more loudly among the public, as trust in Starmer continues to erode. The housing crisis is another wound that deepens the public's frustration. Reports that homes meant for homeless British citizens are being allocated to illegal migrants have struck a nerve. It's a policy decision, or lack thereof, that many see as a betrayal of the very people Starmer claims to represent. The optics are devastating. Pensioners shivering in their homes, families struggling to make ends meet, while resources are diverted elsewhere. The discontent is palpable, and the narrative that Labour has abandoned its base is gaining traction. But of all the swirling controversies, it's Oakeshott's cryptic allusions to a deeper, more personal scandal that loom largest. Reports of a potential super-injunction obtained by Starmer to suppress sensitive information have set tongues wagging. What could be so damaging that Starmer would go to such lengths to keep it hidden? Speculation abounds, with whispers of an undisclosed child or even financial improprieties. Political insiders are bracing for impact, knowing full well how damaging such revelations could be, not just for Starmer, but for the Labour Party as a whole. The stakes couldn't be higher. If the allegations prove true, Starmer's leadership could implode, leaving Labour scrambling for stability at a critical juncture. The timing couldn't be worse, as the party struggles to regain its footing after years of internal strife and declining public trust. Oakeshott's hints have already cast a long shadow, and each passing day deepens the uncertainty surrounding Starmer's future. Within Labour, tensions are reportedly simmering. Some members are privately expressing doubts about Starmer's ability to weather the storm. Others fear the potential fallout could derail the party's fragile momentum. It's a precarious moment for a party that has often struggled to present a united front. And for Starmer, the pressure is mounting from all sides: critics, journalists, and even his own ranks. Meanwhile, Starmer's response has been to double down, defending his decisions and brushing off criticism. But his attempts to project confidence often come across as disconnected from the concerns of ordinary Brits. His polished rhetoric contrasts sharply with the raw frustration felt by many. This disconnect is perhaps best exemplified by his inability to address the growing sentiment that Labour has lost touch with its working-class roots. The perception that Starmer is too focused on optics and not enough on substance is becoming harder to ignore. As Oakeshott sharpens her focus, the public waits with bated breath. Will her revelations live up to the hype? And if they do, what will it mean for Labour, and for British politics as a whole? The potential for fallout is enormous, not just for Starmer but for the broader political landscape. In an era where trust in politicians is already at an all-time low, another scandal could push public cynicism to unprecedented levels. The implications of Starmer's unravelling extend far beyond his personal career. At a time when the UK faces a host of challenges, from economic instability to a fractured social fabric, the need for strong, trustworthy leadership has never been greater. Yet the mounting controversies surrounding Starmer serve as a stark reminder of how far we are from that ideal. The public's patience is wearing thin, and the cracks in the Labour leader's armour are becoming impossible to ignore. In the end, the question is not just whether Starmer can survive this storm, but whether Labour can recover from the damage. The party's ability to navigate these turbulent waters will determine its future, and possibly the future of British politics. But as the revelations continue to unfold, one thing is certain: the road ahead for Starmer and Labour is fraught with peril. And for a public already disillusioned with politics, the stakes have never felt higher.